Hello and welcome to today's edition of Pastor Study. We're going to begin a new journey and we're going to go weave our way through the book of Nehemiah. I've always enjoyed Nehemiah, maybe in part because I see Nehemiah as a leader in construction. He built the wall and a leader in some ways, and so I've always kind of been partial to it. But a little bit of Nehemiah that we need to understand is that Nehemiah, he's given the role of cupbearer. And often I think when we think about that, we think about, well, somebody who hands somebody a drink, who hands them whatever it is they need. Well, certainly that is part of it, but that's not all of it. He was really responsible for the king's whole household and directing people and leading people. His leadership skills are run deep. And so it's important for us to understand that when we think about Nehemiah. And Nehemiah here, he tells us that he is in a place, he's in Susa, the capital, and while he's there, he meets some of his fellow Jewish travelers who have come through the area, and he asks them, how are things going along back in Jerusalem? He wants to know about the land where he grew up. He wants to know about the place of his heritage. He wants to know how the city of Jerusalem is faring. Well, they give him a report that is not favorable. He says, the wall is in great distress. There's reproach. It's broken down. The gates are burned up with fire. It's really a sad situation. And as I think about that, different stages of our life, we receive or learn of sad news. We hear of a family member who has contracted cancer or some other serious disease. We learn of someone being in a serious auto accident. And it shakes us. And the news that Nehemiah received shook him. But, he didn't just cry. He didn't just moan. It tells us that he sat down and he did weep and moan, but he said he fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. He took his heartache, he took his burden, and he went before God in prayer. He spent a large amount of time in prayer. That fasting is really kind of laying aside of all the things of life necessary so that you can pray. And that's what Nehemiah did. And we'll take a look tomorrow at how that worked. Till next time we get together, goodbye and may God